is a presentation of the Hello Chicago Network.
Jacob Bobenmeyer, the snapper. A.J. Cole, the holder. The kick is blocked. Unbelievable.
Oh, hello, Chicago Network is on the air. Hello, everybody. I'm Ryan Yannishadas, and it is time to focus for this Monday, September the 29th. And what a time to focus. I mean, what a way to start it. Let's start there. We're going to start with the Bears. Great. I mean, in a game where they didn't play that well, a game where overall they deserved to lose this game. They came out in that fourth quarter. Caleb Williams gave them a lead. The defense tried to let them down, but for the second straight week, what happens? A blocked field goal that impacts the game. This one won it for the Bears. Yes, Genty, the running back for the Raiders, played phenomenal. He single-handedly did it. Max Crosby, on the defense for the Raiders, he did it all. The Bears still, over all that, overcame it, and they win this football game, and they do exactly what we wanted to see them do, and that was go to 2-2 going into the bye. It wasn't the cleanest game, but the Bears escaped with a win. Last season, or the last 10 seasons before this, the Chicago Bears do not win that game. They don't even come close to winning that game, and they were able to prevail and get it. So a great job by the defense to keep them in it. Great job. You saw glimpses of a great job by Caleb Williams as well. You saw some good running. Overall, you want to see a better game. I didn't really think they were going to win this game, but the way they came and they fought and they didn't give up, that is Ben Johnson football, and that's what you like to see. Congratulations to the Chicago Bears. They get the W. They get the win. And like I said, 2-2, bye. And then now they start to focus, shift gears into a game against the Commanders, which I think is going to be very, very huge. So overall, proud of this team, and that's what you want. You start the season after starting 0-2 to be back at 500, and after two games you took care of the Dallas Cowboys, and then you're able to go on the road, West Coast, Las Vegas, a Raider team that's not great. They were able to get interceptions. Geno Smith turned the ball over a lot. So the Bears defense did a great job here, but the Bears also did a great job of trying to lose this game as well. But overall, they get the W. That's all that matters. You got a weekend. You got a week from, or 2 weeks from today is their next game, Monday Night Football, where you're going to see that highlight 20 times of the Hail Mary by Jaden Daniels. You're going to have to see it. So a chance to right a wrong. But until then, enjoy this victory. 2-2 are the Chicago Bears, and you got to be happy. Just stay afloat. You saw how the Vikings played; they sucked. I'm recording this before the Cowboy Packer game, so I'm not sure what the Packers did. Odds are Packers probably won. So what are they looking at? 3-1. Bears 2-2. Lions up there as well. So it's fun, but at least you're 2-2. You'll take it right now. So great job by the Chicago Bears. What a nice, smart win, and just a great job, great block to be able to get the win there in Vegas, which was basically Soldier Field West. So the Bears win it, the final of 25-24, where you thought this team was going to have 30 seconds to come back down the field and have to try to get another field goal. Cairo Santos saved him in this game as well. So many field goals. He's made him I think he made every single one of them. So he's your player of the game almost, the way he stepped up, been able to make all those field goals. So great job overall. Bears get the W, 2-2. We won't have another Bears focus and for a couple weeks when they will get ready to face the Washington Commanders. Now it's time for some Northwestern Wildcats focus. So the Northwestern Wildcats back at it after their bye a couple of last week. They're able to get a win over UCLA. UCLA now 0-4, but Northwestern able to get the win. They win at 17-14, a couple touchdowns. Preston Stone was 12 for 18, 115 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions. I think that's the key thing. He's thrown so many interceptions in the losses, but in these wins, he's played well. You've seen a clutch. I know they're against bad teams, but hey, you got to be able to beat the bad teams before you can beat the good teams. So a nice win there for Northwestern. They get it 17-14, but Caleb Kalabe What a job. 27 for 119 and a touchdown. Great job, Kumalabe. Great job by him. Great, nice running back. Obviously, Cam Porter out for a while. Not sure when he's coming back. But the Bears, the Wildcats able to get a victory. They go to 2-2 on the season. I'm trying to find where's my stack of schedules here? I can't find them. That's not the folder. I'm getting there, guys. Hang on. Maybe I'm not. Just the folder. Here it is. So go 17-14. They'll face UL Monroe next Saturday at home. Then they start a stretch where they're playing a lot of road games. So I mean, you try to play a team like you can go to 3-2, take care of them. But then you start getting into the tough at Penn State, who's really good, against Purdue, at Nebraska, at USC, and then the 2 Wrigley games. So only 1 or 2 more games left at Martin Field. So we'll see. But next week, UL Monroe, take them game by game and see what happens. But again, you got to be positive, at least what you're seeing on Princeton Stone. And hopefully Kumalabe will continue to play that way as well. So a nice win as well by Northwestern. They win 17-14. Bears win 25-24. So a great job on the football front. We'll take a timeout here on the Hello Chicago Network. When we come back, our final Sox focus of 2025. That's next on the Hello Chicago Network. See if Suzuki can really put this one on a reach. 2-1 count the pitch. Fly ball, left field. Like I said, it is gone. Good night, baseball, Seiya Suzuki. And he did exactly that. Put it out of reach. You saw right there, of course, and for anyone that did watch, thank you very much to the Fan Focus Live. It wasn't unable to get it on YouTube. The copyright, so they took it off. So that's unfortunate, but nonetheless able to still do it on the Facebook. But we're going to be doing another one this week. We'll have an announcement of that coming up in the next segment. But to be able to say that the Bears or the Cubs needed to get a big hit here by Suzuki in the next pitch, it's a grand slam. Great job there, and gotta love that. So overall, got to be happy with how that turned out. And I had fun doing the Fan Focus Live, and our next one will be this week. Like I said, we'll be talking about it in a minute. But first, for one final time in 2025, it's time for a White Sox focus. Okay, for one final time, let's recap the week. They did get swept by the Yankees. Yankees ended the season on an 8-game winning streak and still couldn't win the American League East. They'll be in the wild card series as well. So they lose the 2 game, or they're able to so they get swept by the Yankees. Then face the Nationals. I said within 5 years this is going to be a World Series matchup between the Nationals and the White Sox. I think the White Sox, they did come out and win 2 out of 3. I think that's great. Shane Smith had a perfect game into this. I think the 5th or 6th inning. So I mean, you got potential there. I'm proud of this White Sox team. They were able to get 60 wins when they only had 41 last year. The pitching, I think, work around that. You got Colson Montgomery, Kyle Teal. What you got? Brooks Baldwin. You got this Ichiro. You got some young talent here with the White Sox. I continue to talk about my New Year's resolution for this team, and it came around. You're starting to see a direction for this team. You're starting to see you got the hitters. You got the guys that are going to be there and the cornerstones of this offense. Now this offseason start to slowly look at pitching, and I think that's where you got to be excited for this Sox team. And I mean, I don't think they're going to be a playoff team yet next year, but they played very good at the end of this year where they were fun to watch in September. Now let's see if they try to make some moves to slowly try to make it back into there. I think next year they make a little bit more of a push, and then maybe 2 years from now, or maybe a year from now, we're saying, okay, now you go all in. Let's see where they're at. But if you're a White Sox fan, you're proud of this team, how they stepped up, how they continue to play. Also, congratulations on the retirement of Michael A. Taylor as a White Sox, batted 9th. Announced it while in D.C., where he played a lot of his career. So announced it there. So congratulations. Got 10 years. You get service time. So I think that means lifelong benefits. So great job. Congratulations to Michael A. Taylor. And a great job for the White Sox. They win 2 out of 3. And now they shift gears to the offseason. I'm sure we'll have conversation about that as well going into the winter. So the White Sox get swept by the Yankees, but they win 2 out of 3 against the Nationals. And now they focus on the offseason after, I think, an overall, yes, 3rd straight year of losing 100 games. Yes, they still hold the worst record in baseball history. I don't think you look at that. You look at the positive of this team, and I think there's a lot to be thankful for and a lot to be positive about for the Southsiders. So that's for the White Sox. Now we're going to take a time out here on Hello Chicago Network. When we come back, it's time to focus on the Cubs for the last week and preview playoff baseball, playoff sports here. We're almost 5 years into Hello Chicago Network. We're 4.5 in. It's only our third playoff series we get to preview. We'll do that next. But first, it's time for a focus. Most importantly, it's a Ryan focus. Got the Toronto Blue Jays defeating the Boston Red Sox. I'm very high on the Toronto Blue Jays. I think it's going to be a key. You're going to see an AL East battle there. Blue Jays are going to have home field advantage. Red Sox are going to come in out of the wild card. For the NL, I think the Dodgers are going to get there, but I think that hangover. We haven't seen a repeat champion. We're not going to see it this year. I got Phillies over Dodgers. Therefore, your World Series for 2025 is going to be the Phillies taking on the Blue Jays, and the Phillies are going to be your 2025 World Series champions. Again, Phillies and Blue Jays are a quote-unquote rival, but I got Phillies over Blue Jays in the 2025 World Series. Oh, yes. Let's focus on the Cubs. As you saw right there, the Ryan focus was my recap of the 2025, and that was in March. I predicted the World Series right there. I have Phillies over Blue Jays, and I'm just telling right now, I'm going to keep that. Both those teams, that's a 1 seed and a 2 seed. That's my prediction still. I'm going to say Phillies over Blue Jays for the 2025 World Series. I got out of all the 12 playoff spots, I predicted I get 1 point for each one. I get a half a point if I got them in the playoffs, but picked them to win a division, but they get a wild card or vice versa. And I got 6 points out of 12. So I got them half right. I didn't even have the Brewers in the playoffs. Brewers are the best team record wise. So congratulations to them. And now we get ready for the playoffs. But first, before we talk that, Mets take 2 out of 3 from the Cubs during the week. Mets needed those games. They end up losing, get shut out in the last game of the year when the Brewers beat the Reds. So all the Mets need to do is win against the Marlins that last game, and they lost. So they are eliminated. Reds get that final spot. The Cubs sweep the Cardinals. Saturday, they clinch home field for the playoffs, and then they also find out during that game, Cade Horton out at least through game 5 of the DS, which right now you don't even talk about that because they got to get through the wild card round first with a fractured rib. Weird story. Cubs handle these situations weird when it comes to injuries, but I think that definitely takes them back a little bit because you wanted Horton as that number 1 starter tomorrow. You're not getting that, but I still think this team has enough pitching to get through the wild card round, and if they can fight and scratch and claw in the division series, then I think you'd love to have him for a possible game 5. But overall, Cubs, they sweep. They finish with 92 wins on the season. If you would have told me of this team at 10-8, first starting out 0-2 after the series in Japan, then starting 10-8 and Justin Steele out for the season, that this team would finish with 92 wins and a home wild card series, I would have been like, okay, that's nice. I don't know what team you're talking about, but I mean, there's been ups and downs of a season. You follow a team. That's what some people don't understand. You follow a team day in and day out, and to be able to see them be able to the accomplishment to go to the playoffs is such a relief. I mean, at least in me, I follow this team day in, day out from opening day till the final pitch, and it's been a lot. I mean, April through June was great. July through beginning of September, rough. But they won 92 games. It feels like so much less because the Brewers had an historic run this season, and the Brewers won the division. They were the better team. But head-to-head, they weren't. So where do I see this Cub team? Now we focus on the San Diego Padres. 3 games at Wrigley Field, best of 3. All 3 games, at least Tuesday and Wednesday for sure, and Thursday are 2:08 Central Time. So it'll be a twilight kind of game. I figured that was going to be the case with the Dodgers having the other series. They were going to be home against they'll be hosting the Reds. But I think it's going to be interesting to see how this team comes out. There's a lot of things. Like if someone asked me How far do I think the Cubs could go? I personally, my gut tells me they can make it to the NLCS on the side of the bracket they're in. They can beat the Padres. I think a lot comes out of the Padres when they're not at home. That's why I wanted the home field so bad. We'll see how it goes from there. I think the Cubs, obviously the rotation thing, as of this, they haven't announced yet who's the starting pitcher. That's going to be key. Bruce Levine said it could be an opener. Shota giving up home runs is iffy, but I think Matthew Boyd for sure. Tyone's pitched well. Colin Ray, we did the Fan Focus Live. He could step in as well. So I think maybe two, you Tyone and Boyd, you're for two for sure starters, and maybe Ray, Shota, and you throw in some others as well. Javier Assad must not be because he pitched like 6 innings on Sunday. So I think the Cubs, if the pitching can obtain and the bullpen stays strong, I really do feel the Cubs can win this series. But like I said, I can see this team going to the National League Championship Series because I think they really can beat the Brewers. In all honesty, I think they can. Mizorowski, they were able to get to. Mizorowski might not even make the playoff roster. Cubs had a winning record against the Brewers. Brewers didn't do all the stuff in the regular season to teams like they did to teams. They didn't do that to the Cubs. I feel like it would be an evenly matched, fun 5-game series. And I think the Cubs have a chance to win that. So I can see them getting past even them and going to the NLCS where I think they get stopped by the Phillies. But I can also see them being 2-out in the wild card because you don't know what Cub team you're going to get. You're going to get the team like, say Suzuki's hot right now. PCA's finally hot. You got Horner, Michael Busch. You have 3 guys with 30 home runs. This offense right now is clicking. And the fact that they only get 1 day off and the Brewers have to take a week off. So if the Cubs can get through, I really think they can make it to the NLCS. And the Brewers, you ask any fan, they do not want to face the Cubs. I don't think they want to face either team. But I think for some reason, I think the Cubs pose more of a threat, and the pressure is on Milwaukee. They have to win. They have to win that series, no matter who it is. They're the best record, but they haven't won a playoff series since 2018. So remember that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to sit here and predict that they're going to. I think they can win, but we're going to do, and you saw in the Fan Focus to be announced, we will be doing Wednesday's Game 2 Fan Focus Live. We're not going to be showing it. It's going to be me talking about it as the game's going on. Feel free to comment. It'll be on the YouTube channel and Raise the Bar TV. As we'll be sitting here 2:05, I think we're going to go on live. First pitch 2:08 for game 2. It will be an elimination game for a team. Will it be for the Cubs? Will it be for the Padres? Will there be a game 3? But again, Wednesday, game 2 we'll be doing live at 2:05. So it should be exciting to see. We'll be watching that one together. That'll be the next time we're on here. But let's have fun. Let's enjoy playoff baseball. Like I said, this is the 3rd playoff series we've covered for Chicago sports and Hello Chicago history. First one, I believe, Bulls lost to the Bucks in 5, and then the White Sox lost to the Astros, both in 2021, and that was in 4. And now we get another one, a wild card series, Cubs versus Padres. Even get our first playoff win of 2020 or of the Hello Chicago Network era. Or it's going to be talking, we'll be going to football because, again, we're not covering playoff. We'll go right into Chicago sports. Hockey starts next week, so we'll go into that. But let's enjoy it, fans. Enjoy it. Home games, Wrigley Field, national TV. They'll be on ABC. So your local ABC 7 for Chicago, 12 if you're in the border in Wisconsin. But enjoy it. It's playoff baseball, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy it for the next 3 days, 2:08 Central. Don't forget, we'll have the Fan Focus Live Game 2 Wednesday. We go live at 2:05, and we'll sit here and talk about the game. You'll get to see me squirm and see how I handle a playoff game. So game 1, I couldn't do. Game 3, it would be real. Those will be the 2 nerve games. We'll see. Going into game 2 on Wednesday, I'll see what Cub team we have. If there's life, we'll see. So everyone, enjoy Cubs baseball. Enjoy playoff baseball. It's going to be fun for the next few days. Friday, we'll open up with the Cubs focus on the recap of the wild card series, and we'll talk about going forward. No Bears because they're off this week. We'll talk Northwestern as well. So a light show, but plenty of time to talk about Cubs baseball as well, and hopefully we are previewing a division series. So everyone have a great week. See you Wednesday, 2:05 live. Not the WWE show, but go live at 2:05 for Fan Focus Live. I'm Ryan Yanishadis from the Hello Chicago Network. We're the focus of Chicago sports.